Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you had a great weekend. Today I'm going to talk about how do you manage emotional flashbacks, let's say after abuse or after leaving that abusive relationship. And I'm going to be sharing with you some coping mechanisms you can use, as well as explain to you what's the implication of these flashbacks really is. You see, like an abusive relationship will leave you traumatized with psychological and emotional scars. And when we don't really address these scars, it will always affect the quality of our present life, or it will affect the way we live our life presently. And one common symptom of undergoing such a traumatizing or a traumatic relationship or that traumatic experience is having emotional flashbacks. This is where like you have moments like throughout the day or when you're about to sleep where you have like vivid and overwhelming sensations of past traumatic experiences or of past traumatic events you went through while in the relationship. So you are having these clear pictures of what you went through. And these flashbacks actually they occur without warning. They just come out of the blue. They don't tell you that hey, I'm coming now. No, they just occur without warning, and it may leave you feeling the negative emotions that seem disconnected from the reality of your current situation or from what's happening in your present moment. Like you may be just driving and then you have flashbacks. And the thing is, you may not even realize that you're experiencing a flashback, especially if you haven't fully addressed some of those underlying issues or some of your past emotional baggage. So you may not know. You may just be feeling sad, like very sad, but you don't know that you are having a flashback because of courtesy of your past traumatic experiences. And when you have these flashbacks, it's like it's forcing you to feel the same emotions you felt during the occurrence of that traumatic event from the past, but without you being able to remember or to understand the memory connected to it. So these emotions can be triggered by various stimuli, like it can be a smell, like certain perfume, it can be a certain action, it can be sight, like when you see something, or when you hear a certain sound, or when you read certain words, or even when you watch certain videos, or just anything that ties back, or just anything in the present moment that ties back to the memory of the actual traumatic event. Some of the emotions you may experience when you're having an emotional flashback are something like shame, anger, or grief, sadness, like deep loneliness, like feeling of helplessness, panic, anxiety, depression, fear. And these emotions may be so overwhelming, but it's actually a normal occurrence for any survivor of trauma or any survivor of abuse. And I'm going to share with you some of the things you can do that will help you cope with these moments. Like cope with them, like manage them, because coping is more of managing those painful feelings, those so that they do not escalate your so they do not feel you do not feel more painful or more pain. So, what is the first thing of you can do to cope with the flashback? The first thing you can do is to label the flashback. Like you identify and you recognize that you're having a flashback. Like you acknowledge that the feeling you are feeling now, the emotions, the overwhelming emotions you are feeling now is because of a flashback. It's just about reminding yourself that you are not in any immediate danger. Let's say you're just driving or you're just taking a shower and then those emotions come swarming to you. So you just remind yourself that hey, you're not in danger. Those are just past stuck emotions. Those are just emotions courtesy of your past traumatic events. This will help you to kind of bring yourself to the present moment and create this clear distinction between your present moment or your present emotions and your past traumatic experiences. It's all about watching without really going along with them. And when you do this, you'll be able to realize that the emotions you are experiencing now are not tied to the event you are doing now. They're not tied to you like taking a shower, having that drive. No, they are tied to a past event. And when you recognize that, it will reduce the intensity of those painful feelings. It's just about, because when you are sad without labeling, you will think that there is something you are doing in the present moment which is making you feel sad. No, it is something from the past which is just showing itself. So another thing with labeling is it will help you to identify some of the triggers, and you can, when you identify some of the triggers, you can avoid them in the future. Like you can avoid those triggering conversations. And when you identify or when you label these things, you will also be preventing your mind from manufacturing new emotions such as shame as a result of those flashbacks. The other thing you can do is set, uphold, and remind yourself of your boundaries. Like boundaries are mostly like everything. When you know your boundaries, you automatically lower the intensity of those negative emotions, because you are understanding what's within your control, or what you can do, or what is acceptable and what is not acceptable from others or from anyone around you or from yourself. This is where you know what you can or cannot tolerate from other people, or from what other people do to you or to yourself. For example, like if you cannot tolerate someone talking about a conversation which is triggering to you, you walk away. If you cannot tolerate a certain environment because you don't feel safe, you walk away. Like boundaries will give you this sense of safety and control over your surroundings, because you know the things you cannot tolerate. So if someone is talking about a traumatic past or something which triggers you, you know that, hey, don't cross that boundary. Or if someone is asking you about those things and you feel that those things will be so triggering to you, you can just tell the person, or you can just assert your voice and tell the person that, hey, that's not something I want to talk about. So you are more becoming aware of the things which, or you becoming aware of certain actions, certain topics, or certain conversations that are triggering to you, or that are making you experience that emotional flashback. Another tool that will help you, of course, is journaling. Like journaling will help you like manage those uncomfortable emotions. You can develop these, and actually journaling is a great habit, because you can develop this practice of journaling every time you have a flashback, like every time you have that intense emotional feeling, or even just every day, like evening or morning. You can write about what you are feeling. And when you write about what you're feeling, instead of letting the mind spin like with racing thoughts, it will help you make the sense of what you are feeling deep inside. Because if you let those emotions take control, it will really drive you crazy. But when you write down, let's say it can be, you can use your phone or just any physical journal, then you're expressing them to a piece of paper. And it will also help you like explore those difficult emotions caused by your traumatic experiences or caused by those flashbacks. And there's no right way or wrong way of doing journaling. Just take take that book or that phone, sticky notes, anything. Just write something, and then things will start falling. But you can use some prompts like just to help you getting started. Like, what am I feeling now? Like, how can I show myself more love and compassion in this present moment? Or something like, what am I grateful for today? Or something like, how far have you come in your healing journey? Or something like assuring yourself of your safety in the present moment, that you are not in immediate danger. This is just the past. One last practice that will help you manage those uncomfortable emotions resulting from flashbacks is practicing grounding. Grounding is where like you have a practice which brings you back to the present moment. This can be meditation, like you can have a daily meditation practice, or using your five senses, like where you label all your senses, like I'm seeing now, I'm hearing this, I'm feeling this, or any other kind of sensations, or breath work, visualization. You just visualize yourself in a calm place when you have these flashbacks, or any other thing which will help you. Instead of taking your thoughts back to the past, it's bringing you back to the present moment. You can find a lot of amazing techniques online on grounding, and they will really help you. So the thing is, when you experience a flashback, your mind will always go to that past event. But now, when you practice these techniques like meditation or breath work, like focusing on my breath, like in this present moment, you'll be bringing it back to the present day. And when you bring your mind to the present day, the intensity of that distress will reduce because you are not living there. You are more of coming here, and you'll automatically become more calmer. It's more of shifting your focus from the past to the present moment by focusing on something which is present, like your breath, your 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 sight, your senses. Yeah. So in conclusion, like, emotional flashbacks are a normal experience for any victim of abuse, for any victim of childhood trauma, or even any victim of childhood neglect, or just if you've experienced any like advanced childhood experiences. So being aware of them, like being aware that those things are flashbacks, or being aware that there is something called flashbacks and this thing is not of the present moment, will help you develop better coping strategies to manage those painful feelings and emotion. And it's actually a great step in your healing journey. Just identifying that this thing I'm feeling is not because of the action I'm doing now. It's just because of the past. Lastly, like, it's important to understand that flashbacks or emotional flashbacks are actually symptoms of unprocessed pain. Like, they are symptoms, they are not you. So you can address those flashbacks by permanently finding a safe space to release and process those uncomfortable emotions, or those trapped emotions, or those trapped memories, because those trapped things are what's causing you to experience or to live in the past. So these wounds are always trapped in your body, in your mind, and the flashbacks are more of manifestations of your unhealed traumas, manifestation of your unhealed wounds. So if you are really committed and you have the right tools, you can jump the step from coping with them, managing them, just managing them, because managing them, you are just keeping them there, and move to the other side of the fence, so you can permanently go to the root of the problem, or permanently address those painful experiences, so that those painful experiences don't have a grip in how you live your life presently. Like, it's a place where, like, when you process these things, you get to a place where the memories of your ex, or the memories of the actions of your abusive ex, do not really affect the quality of your life. So if you are really committed and want to explore that trauma, want to release that pain you are carrying deep inside you, and do not want to really manage these flashbacks, then of course you can always book a free breakthrough call with me, and I'll guide you through the journey of processing those things using mind shifting, so that you can really be someone who's free and who's not anchored to the past. Hope you found that informative, guys, and if you found those tips of coping with them or managing with them effectively, and if you don't want to manage them, you just want to process the past, as I have said, feel free to book a free breakthrough call with me, and I'll be ready to help. Until next time, have a nice day.